Are you eating what you believe is a healthy diet, yet your hair continues to thin, your energy feels low, and your body just doesn't respond the way it used to? And here's an even more surprising question. What if one of the most powerful foods for reversing hair loss, rebuilding strength, and improving longevity isn't eggs, meat, or protein powders, but a simple vegetable? Even more shocking. What if this vegetable contains up to 20 times more usable protein per calorie than eggs and activates key pathways in your body that directly support hair growth, even in your 70s and 80s? Now, I know that sounds like a bold claim, but stay with me, because today we're not chasing hype. We're going to break this down using real physiology. Here's what's really going on inside your body. As women age, especially after menopause, there are three major shifts happening beneath the surface. Estrogen levels decline, insulin becomes more resistant. The liver becomes less efficient at detoxification and nutrient processing. Now let me explain this with a simple analogy. Think of your body like a factory. When you're younger, the machines, your hormones, are running smoothly. Nutrients are delivered efficiently, waste is cleared quickly, and repair processes, like hair growth, are constantly active. But as you age, the machines slow down. Some stop working properly. And here's the key problem most people miss. It's not just about eating more protein, it's about whether your body can use that protein effectively. Because hair is not just about protein intake. Hair is a metabolic signal. It reflects what's happening with blood sugar balance, nutrient absorption, inflammation, circulation to the scalp, and even mitochondrial energy production. So when hair loss shows up, especially later in life, it's often a sign that something deeper is out of balance. Not a shampoo problem, not just a genetics problem, but a metabolic problem. And this is where most advice goes wrong. People are told to take biotin supplements, use expensive serums, or just eat more eggs, but they ignore the root cause. Today, we're going to flip that approach completely. We'll explore the one vegetable that delivers a unique combination of amino acids, minerals, and plant compounds that directly support hair follicles, why its protein is more metabolically efficient than many animal sources, how it helps stabilize insulin, which is critical for preventing hair thinning, and how it activates detox pathways in the liver that influence hormone balance. And most importantly, I'll show you exactly how to use it in a simple daily protocol that can start making a difference within weeks. Because here's the truth. Your body still has the ability to repair, regenerate, and grow, even at 80, but it needs the right signals. And today, we're going to give it those signals. If this is helpful so far, consider subscribing. I share content like this every day to help you take control of your health naturally. Now let's move into the key insights you need to understand first. Most people believe that if they simply eat more protein, their body will automatically use it to repair tissues, build muscle, and support hair growth. But here's what's really going on inside your body. Protein is not just about intake, it's about digestion, absorption, and cellular utilization. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Imagine you're ordering high-quality building materials for a construction site. You've got the best bricks, the best steel. Everything looks perfect on paper, but what if the delivery trucks can't reach the site? Or worse, what if the workers don't have the energy or instructions to actually use those materials? That's exactly what happens in the aging body. As women get older, especially after 60, stomach acid tends to decline. Enzyme production decreases. Blood flow to the digestive system becomes less efficient. So even if you're eating eggs, meat, or protein-rich foods, your body may only be using a fraction of that protein. And here's where it gets even more important for hair health. Hair follicles are among the most metabolically active structures in the body. They require a constant supply of amino acids, oxygen, and micronutrients. But they are also non-essential tissues. That means if your body senses stress, inflammation, or nutrient scarcity, it will divert resources away from hair and toward vital organs like the brain and heart. So the problem isn't just low protein. The problem is inefficient protein delivery and usage. What the research shows is that certain plant-based foods, especially dark green vegetables, contain protein in a form that is often easier to digest, along with enzymes, magnesium, and chlorophyll that support absorption at the cellular level. Now, this doesn't mean plant protein is better than animal protein in every case, but in aging metabolism, it can be more usable. And this is where the specific vegetable we're talking about becomes so powerful, because it doesn't just provide amino acids, it improves the environment in which those amino acids are used, it supports better digestion, improved insulin sensitivity, reduced inflammation, enhanced blood flow, all of which are essential for getting nutrients to the scalp. Here's a simple shift you can start applying immediately. Instead of thinking, how can I eat more protein? Start asking, how can I improve my body's ability to use the protein I eat? A practical protocol could look like this. Begin your meals with bitter greens or lightly cooked vegetables to stimulate digestion. Add a squeeze of lemon or a small amount of vinegar to activate stomach acid. Chew slowly. This alone improves protein breakdown significantly. Avoid drinking large amounts of water during meals, which can dilute digestive enzymes. And one more powerful strategy, pair your protein with nutrient-dense greens, because when you combine amino acids with minerals like magnesium and iron, you create the exact biochemical environment your body needs for repair and regeneration. So again, remember this key point. It's not just about eating protein. It's about absorbing it, activating it, and delivering it to the cells that need it most. And once you fix that, hair growth becomes a natural side effect, not something you have to force. Now let's move into the next critical insight. Why hair loss is not just a nutrient problem, but a deeper metabolic signal your body is trying to send you. Now let's go deeper, because this is where most people completely misunderstand what their body is trying to tell them. Hair loss is not random, it's not just aging, and it's definitely not just a lack of biotin. Hair loss is a signal that something deeper in your metabolism is out of balance. Here's what's really going on inside your body. Your hair follicles operate in cycles. Growth phase, anagen. Resting phase, telogen. Shedding phase. In a healthy system, most of your hair stays in the growth phase, but when your body is under internal stress, more hair prematurely shifts into the shedding phase. Now the question is, what creates that internal stress? Let's break it down simply. There are three major drivers. One, insulin resistance. When blood sugar stays elevated, insulin rises. Over time, this blocks nutrient delivery to hair follicles and increases inflammation. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Imagine your bloodstream as a highway. When insulin is high, it's like traffic congestion. Nutrients, even if they're present, can't efficiently reach their destination. Hair follicles, being low-priority tissues, get the least supply. 2. Chronic inflammation. Inflammation acts like internal heat. It damages delicate structures, including hair follicles, and disrupts their growth cycle. This can be triggered by processed foods, excess sugar, poor gut health, oxidative stress. 3. Poor circulation to the scalp. Hair follicles need oxygen and nutrients, but as we age, blood flow to the scalp decreases, especially if metabolic health is compromised. Less circulation, weaker follicles, more shedding. Now here's the key insight most people miss. You can take all the supplements in the world, but if insulin is high, inflammation is present, and circulation is poor, those nutrients will never reach the follicle. That's why so many people say, I tried everything, nothing worked. Because they were treating the symptom, not the signal. Now let's connect this back to the vegetable we're talking about. The power of this food is not just in its protein content. It directly targets all three root causes. It helps stabilize blood sugar. It reduces inflammation at the cellular level. It improves nitric oxide production, which enhances circulation. So instead of forcing hair growth from the outside, it creates the internal conditions where hair can grow naturally again. Here's a simple protocol you can start today to address these root causes. Morning, metabolic reset. Start your day with a fiber-rich vegetable or green drink. Avoid high-sugar breakfasts like bread, juice, or cereals. Add healthy fats like olive oil or nuts to stabilize blood sugar midday, circulation boost. Take a 10-15 minute walk after meals. This improves insulin sensitivity and increases blood flow. Evening, inflammation control. Eat your last meal at least 2-3 hours before sleep. Focus on whole, unprocessed foods. Prioritize sleep, because poor sleep raises cortisol and worsens hair loss. And here's the key takeaway I want you to remember. Hair loss is not something to fight against. It's something to listen to, because your body is telling you something in your metabolism needs attention. Fix that, and the hair often follows. Now, in the next section, we'll finally reveal the specific vegetable behind this concept and break down exactly why it's so powerful for protein, hair growth, and longevity. Now, let's bring everything together, because this is the moment you've been waiting for. What is this 20x protein vegetable? And why is it so powerful for senior women? The vegetable we're talking about is dark leafy greens, especially spinach, moringa leaves, and parsley. Now, let's clarify something important right away. When we say 20 times more protein than eggs, we are not talking about protein per weight in the traditional sense. We're talking about protein efficiency per calorie combined with nutrient density. And this distinction changes everything. Here's what's really going on inside your body. Eggs are a high-quality protein source, no question, but they come packaged with fats and require strong digestion, stomach acid, and enzyme activity to break down effectively, something that often declines with age. Now compare that to dark leafy greens. These vegetables contain amino acids, the building blocks of protein, chlorophyll, which supports detox and blood health, magnesium, critical for over 300 enzymatic reactions, folate, essential for cell regeneration, vitamin C, needed for collagen production. So instead of delivering just protein, they deliver a complete metabolic support system that helps your body actually use protein. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Think of eggs as raw construction material, useful but dependent on workers, tools, and transport. Now think of leafy greens as a fully equipped construction team, bringing not just materials, but also the machinery, energy, and instructions needed to build. That's why in aging metabolism, these vegetables can be far more effective. Now let's focus specifically on one of the most powerful options here, moringa leaves. Moringa is often called a nutrient powerhouse, and for good reason. It contains all 9 essential amino acids. It's rich in iron, which is critical for oxygen delivery to hair follicles. It has quercetin and other antioxidants that reduce inflammation, and it supports blood sugar regulation, which directly impacts insulin levels. All of these factors combine to create an internal environment where hair can grow stronger and thicker. Spinach and parsley work in a similar way. They're rich in nitrates, which convert into nitric oxide in the body. This improves circulation, especially to small blood vessels like those feeding your scalp. Better blood flow, better nutrient delivery, stronger follicles. Now here's how you can actually use this in your daily life. Simple daily protocol. Add a handful of spinach or parsley to your first meal of the day. Use moringa powder, 1 teaspoon, in warm water or smoothies. Lightly cook greens instead of overcooking. This preserves nutrients. Pair with healthy fats, like olive oil, to improve absorption of fat-soluble vitamins. And one important note, consistency matters more than quantity. You don't need large amounts. You need daily signals, because every time you consume these foods, you are telling your body, repair, regenerate, rebuild. And over time, those signals compound. Hair becomes stronger, energy improves, metabolism stabilizes. Now, in the next section, we're going to go even deeper into one of the most overlooked drivers of hair loss, insulin, and how controlling it can completely change the way your body responds. And if you've been struggling despite eating healthy, this next part may be the missing piece. Now let's talk about one of the most overlooked yet most powerful drivers of hair loss in senior women, insulin. Because here's the truth, you can eat all the right foods, take the best supplements, even add nutrient-dense vegetables like moringa and spinach. But if your insulin levels are constantly elevated, your body will stay stuck in a state where repair is blocked. Here's what's really going on inside your body. Insulin is not just a blood sugar hormone, it's a storage hormone. When insulin is high, your body receives one clear message: do not burn, do not repair, store energy. Now let me explain this with a simple analogy. Imagine your body has 2 modes: storage mode, high insulin, Repair mode, low insulin. When you're constantly snacking, eating refined carbs, or consuming sugar, you stay in storage mode all day. And in this state, fat burning is reduced. Inflammation increases. Blood flow efficiency decreases. And most importantly, hair growth is suppressed. Because again, hair is not essential for survival, so your body prioritizes energy for vital organs, not your scalp. Now here's where this becomes especially important after 60. As estrogen declines, insulin sensitivity also worsens. That means even normal meals can cause higher insulin spikes than before. So the same diet you followed in your 40s may now be silently contributing to hair thinning. What the research shows is that improving insulin sensitivity can directly reduce hair shedding, improve follicle strength, increase growth phase duration. Now here's the powerful connection to the vegetable we discussed. Dark leafy greens, especially moringa, help lower insulin response naturally. They slow glucose absorption, they improve cellular sensitivity to insulin, and they provide fiber, which stabilizes blood sugar over time. So instead of creating spikes, they create steady energy, which is exactly what your hair follicles need. Now let's make this practical. Here's a simple insulin control protocol you can start today. 1. Eat in defined windows, 12 to 14 hour overnight fast. Finish dinner early. For example, last meal at 7 p.m., first meal at 9 a.m. This gives your body time to lower insulin and activate repair processes overnight. 2. Build meals around fiber plus protein plus healthy fat. Instead of eating carbohydrates alone, pair them with leafy greens, fiber, eggs or legumes, protein, olive oil or nuts, fat. This dramatically reduces insulin spikes. 3. Avoid liquid sugar completely. This includes fruit juices, sugary teas, processed drinks. Liquid sugar hits your bloodstream rapidly, causing the biggest insulin surges. 4. Move after meals. Even a 10-minute walk can lower blood sugar significantly. This improves insulin sensitivity and enhances nutrient delivery. Now here's the key takeaway I want you to remember. If you want your hair to grow, you must create a body environment where repair is allowed to happen. And that only happens when insulin is controlled. So again, repeat this with me. High insulin blocks repair. Low insulin allows regeneration. Once you understand this, everything changes. Now, in the next section, we'll explore another critical piece of the puzzle, your liver, and how its function directly controls hormone balance, detoxification, and ultimately the health of your hair. And this is something most people never even consider. Now, let's talk about a system in your body that almost no one connects to hair loss, but it may be one of the most important pieces of the puzzle, your liver. Because here's what most people don't realize. Your liver is not just a detox organ, it's a hormonal control center. And for senior women, especially after menopause, this becomes critical. Here's what's really going on inside your body. As estrogen levels decline with age, your body becomes more sensitive to hormonal imbalances. Now, your liver is responsible for breaking down excess hormones, processing toxins, converting nutrients into usable forms, regulating blood sugar storage, glycogen. But when the liver becomes sluggish, everything starts to back up. Let me explain this with a simple analogy. Think of your liver like a filter system. When it's clean and functioning well, everything flows smoothly. But when it's overloaded, toxins, hormones, and waste products begin to accumulate. And this creates an internal environment where inflammation increases, hormonal signals become distorted, nutrient delivery becomes inefficient, and once again, hair follicles suffer first because they are highly sensitive to internal imbalances. Now here's something very important. A sluggish liver can lead to a condition called estrogen dominance even after menopause. This imbalance can shorten the hair growth phase, increase shedding, weaken follicle strength. At the same time, if the liver cannot properly store and release glucose, blood sugar becomes unstable, which brings us back to insulin problems. So you can see how all of this is connected. Liver, hormones, insulin, hair. Now here's where the vegetable we discussed becomes incredibly powerful again. Dark leafy greens, especially moringa, spinach, and parsley, support liver function in multiple ways. Chlorophyll helps bind and remove toxins. Antioxidants reduce oxidative stress in liver cells. Bitter compounds stimulate bile production, which improves fat digestion and detoxification. This is not just nutrition. This is functional support for your body's internal systems. Now let's make this practical. Here's a simple liver support protocol you can start today. Morning, liver activation. Start your day with warm water plus lemon. Add a pinch of sea salt for mineral balance. This stimulates bile flow and prepares digestion. Daily greens intake. Include at least one serving of leafy greens in your meals. Rotate between spinach, parsley, and moringa. Support natural detox pathways. Add cruciferous vegetables like broccoli, cabbage. These contain compounds that enhance liver detox enzymes, reduce liver burden, minimize processed foods, avoid excess sugar and refined oils, limit unnecessary medications when possible and safe. Evening reset. Avoid late night eating. Give your liver time to perform its natural overnight detox processes. Now here's the key takeaway I want you to remember. Your liver determines how well your body can balance hormones, process nutrients, and eliminate toxins. And all of these directly influence your hair. So if you've been focusing only on what to apply on your hair, it's time to shift your focus to what's happening inside your body. Because when your liver is supported, your entire system begins to rebalance, and hair growth becomes a natural outcome of that balance. If this has been helpful so far, consider subscribing. I share content like this every day to help you restore your health naturally. Now, let's move into the final section, where I'll bring everything together into a simple daily routine you can follow step by step to support hair growth, energy, and longevity, even into your 70s and 80s. Now let's bring everything together into something simple, practical, and powerful. Because information alone doesn't change your health. Daily actions do. So instead of overwhelming you with more theory, I'm going to give you a clear, step-by-step daily protocol you can actually follow starting today to support hair growth, energy, and long-term metabolic health. Think of this as a reset routine for your body, a way to send consistent signals of repair, balance, and regeneration. Let's start with your morning. When you wake up, your body is naturally in a low insulin, fat-burning repair state. We want to protect that state, not disrupt it. So instead of jumping straight into tea with sugar, bread, or processed foods, start with something simple. Warm water with lemon and a pinch of sea salt. Optional, add a small amount of apple cider vinegar. This gently activates your liver and digestion. Now, if you're comfortable, delay your first meal by 1 to 2 hours. This extends your body's natural repair window, and when you do eat, make this your first powerful habit. Add leafy greens. For example, spinach with eggs, parsley in an omelet, or a simple green smoothie with moringa powder. This combination gives your body amino acids for repair, minerals for enzyme function, fiber for blood sugar control. Now let's move to your midday. This is where most people unintentionally spike their insulin. So here's the rule. Never eat carbohydrates alone. Always combine fiber, vegetables, protein, eggs, fish, legumes, healthy fats, olive oil, nuts. This stabilizes blood sugar and keeps insulin under control. And here's a simple but powerful addition. After your meal, take a 10-15 minute walk. This improves circulation, helps glucose enter your cells, and enhances nutrient delivery, including to your scalp. Now your evening routine, this is critical because your body does most of its repair work at night. So we want to create the right conditions. Finish your last meal 2 to 3 hours before sleep. Keep dinner light and nutrient dense. Focus again on vegetables, plus healthy fats, plus moderate protein. Avoid sugary foods, late night snacking, heavy processed meals, because these keep insulin elevated and block overnight repair. Now let's add one more powerful layer. Consistency over intensity. You don't need extreme diets. You don't need expensive treatments. What your body needs is repeated signals. Every time you eat leafy greens, control insulin, support your liver, improve circulation, you're telling your body, now it's safe to repair, now it's safe to grow. And over time, these signals compound, Hair shedding slows, follicles strengthen, energy improves, metabolism becomes more stable. Not because of one miracle food, but because you fix the environment inside your body. So here's your simple challenge. Start with just one change today. Maybe it's adding greens to your breakfast. Maybe it's taking a walk after lunch. Maybe it's finishing dinner earlier. Track how your body responds. Because when you listen to your body and support it correctly, it responds, even at 70, even at 80. If this added value to your life, like the video and subscribe to join others who are optimizing their health naturally.